Hello, it's Alexia here. Now, this video is really to help you to prepare for a clearance session. And this could be a session that you do on your own, using, just using head trash clearance on your own. It could be if you're preparing for a session with a head trash coach, or it could be if you're going to attend a group clearance that as part of a group experience. So it doesn't really matter what the format of the clearance session is, but there are certain things that I think are useful to kind of think about beforehand so that you can prepare for it. So the first thing I think that you need to do is to make sure that you're going to be in a private space where you're not going to be disturbed, so that you can really immerse yourself into the experience and get the most from it. If your mind is trying to bat away interruptions and things like that, then you're not going to have your mind focused on the clearance work that you're doing. And this is mind work. So if your mind isn't placing its intention and attention on the clearance, then you're not going to get the same level of results. The next thing is to make sure that you've got plenty of tissues to hand. Now, I say that because in my experience, and a lot of my clients' experience, is that you end up creating lots of tears and snot during a clearance. Now, this might not happen every time you do clearance, but it's useful to have a box of tissues to hand just in case you do start releasing tears, maybe crying in an emotional sense, but certainly eyes tend to water quite a lot, noses run, they just fill up, and you know it's really good to be able to wipe your nose, clear your nose, and not have to leave the space that you're in to do that. So always have some tissues handy. Similarly, always have a glass of water to hand as well, because you might get thirsty. Some people, it's really good when if you think about doing a clearance, which is really about purging toxic emotional energy. And so water is just really cleansing in that respect and really helps you to kind of facilitate and support your body during that cleansing experience. But also because you're kind of dumping toxicity out of your system, then your system will be doing that and sort of sending it to where you would normally be dumping toxins, so later you might want to be using the toilet quite a bit. And therefore it needs water to do that internal cleansing that you're going to be doing. So some people do say that they start getting a migraine during a clearance, and that's because I think the body is already sort of using what hydration is already in the body to start that dumping process. So have a glass of water to hand as well, and make sure that you're hydrating, you're able to keep yourself hydrated. Now, the other thing that I think is really important is to be somewhere, excuse me, really comfortable, and have some cushions to hand, because you are going to be putting your hands in a tap position, a hand position called the tap position. Now, the tap position, it goes like this, right? And I'm going to go into more detail in another video, but essentially when you're in that position, you want to be able to support yourself with cushions. So I always tend to get on a sofa or in bed, surround myself with pillows, that kind of thing, so that I can really just rest my arm throughout. Because the last thing you want is to be going, oh, I can't do this because my arm's aching. You don't want that, right? You want to be able to just completely focus on the clearance and get the best results you can. So surround yourself with cushions and pillows, get comfortable. I tend to want to lie down when I'm doing my clearances, so I'll sort of prop myself up and lie down and have all my arms nicely arranged so that I'm entirely relaxed and I'm not straining just to hold my hands up in that position. So yeah, get comfortable. And then the final thing I want to say is that you want to make sure that you're planning to attend a clearance, if you're able to choose the time that you're doing this, not plan anything significantly demanding after the clearance. And that's because you might get tired, you might feel exhausted, you might feel a little bit spent from doing clearances. That doesn't mean that you're going to go through that, you're going to feel that every time you do a clearance, but it's very hard to predict. Sometimes, even for those that have been clearing for a while, where, it really doesn't end up being that exhausting, there's always one thing that comes along and bites you on the bum, and then you feel absolutely wiped for the whole day. This happens to me, right? So yeah, don't plan to be chairing a really important meeting for the board of directors or something straight after clearance, because you might not be 100% on it. You might feel a little bit sort of, yeah, just a little bit spent and not full mental capacity in that respect, you know, not on fire. So yeah, so be kind to yourself. Make sure you've got some time afterwards to allow yourself to do the processing that is required, because when we're doing clearance work, it's very much a subconscious process. So your system will need some time to kind of work through that processing and process it at a subconscious level and allow that to rise to your conscious, and sort of to allow your conscious mind to almost catch up with the work that we've done at a subconscious level. So this is why it can be useful maybe to plan time to maybe go for a walk or just stare out the window, you know, to give your system, your body, your mind, your subconscious, whatever you want to call it, time to do the processing, space to do the processing, so that you can really digest the work that you've done and allow it to land fully. So I hope that helps in terms of helping you to prepare for doing clearances. Until next time, bye for now.